last week, we actually managed to get someone's money back, which was pretty awesome. One lady told me that she was aware of 11 people that died by suicide who had invested in Ponzi schemes. And I get it. People die. It's a very sad affair. Is this a shameless attempt to get empathy?
My health isn't great. Financially, things have been really, really tough. Relationships have been very difficult. As my mental health has been...
Talks about me next. Oh dear. And I've watched the conniving tricks and techniques of all these salespeople.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, just depleted and exhausted. And just I'm done. Like I have nothing else right now. And the plane is going up and down. I'm like, yes, this is great. Like I'm one of those, I'm weird like that. And I don't want anyone here to think that it has been easy for any of us to.
Oh, bullshit.
Because we are fighting battles that you don't know. Truly, you guys don't know.
And this is where I come in.
You criticize us when we're positive.
What positive thing have you got?
That is the only thing helping us to keep our mental health, is staying positive. I have a guy who I have never met. He is literally bullying me all over online.
Bullshit.
He encourages people to go on and tear us down, name and shame us. I promise you, I'm going to see this video online with him with commentary.
No, I don't think so. Hello, I'm Danny DeHeck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Well, that's what the New York Times called me. Got a whole page in the New York Times about my efforts trying to name and shame people who are actively promoting Ponzi schemes. Today I went for a walk and I thought I'd listen to a good old favourite, the leadership meeting, the 26th of November, and they had 3 people on the leadership meeting. And they were Tracy, Valerie, and a good old favourite, Whitney. Now, Whitney is what I call the blurry suckerfish lady. And if you've been following my channel for some time, you would have seen I've done quite a few videos on her. Now, I've always given her a bit of a hard time because she's quite happy to preach the message and the word about HyperNation, but doesn't want her face being seen on the internet. And I don't quite get that. Anyway, today's meeting was a real heartfelt one. She actually set the tone for the whole meeting. She's got 2 people in her life that one has passed away and the other one is about to pass away. And she likened the first person that passed away as a father figure. Now, I think what I got from the meeting today is she was looking for a bit of empathy from her audience. And I do say, with hand on heart, that I think she has a hidden agenda. And it blows me away, to be honest, because the last part of the meeting, someone asked a bit of a curly question. They talked about how FTX fell over and how they weren't very transparent with the mechanics of the business, and they didn't really show the ledger. And they suggested that if HyperNation really wants to build rapport with its members, that they should be more transparent with the financial situation that they are in. And she chirped up and got into gear mode and went and nailed it. And it showed me straight away that she knows every aspect of how HyperNation works. She talked about NFTs, and when you purchase them, you can actually see in the ledger, you can track the wallet address, and you can see the real transactions happening. But the money is going to a wallet address that is disappearing and no one knows who the organization is. I am out to name and shame people who promote Ponzi schemes. And unfortunately, if you're going through some troubles in your life, it may seem a bit callous, and I don't quite like, not showing empathy, but I can't. The reason why, I'm going to explain in a minute. I would like to do some brief housework. I'd like to show you my website. If you click on the Contact Us page, there's a form where you can actually submit information anonymously about any leads or anyone that is a ringleader who's promoting Ponzi schemes. It can be about any Ponzi scheme. Please let me know. I am currently gathering information which we can use to help get people's money back. I had my first victory last week. We actually managed to get someone's money back, which was pretty awesome. The other thing I'd like to do, this meeting, because Courtney actually set the tone for the meeting. And I have to make sure that you guys are in the right frame of mind. After I was in the New York Times, I've been contacted by numerous people. One lady told me that she was aware of 11 people that died by suicide who had invested in Ponzi schemes and lost the lot. So this is very real. Whitney, Tracy, and Valerie are trying to hold the community together because the community are angry. They've lost their money. And their only message is, hang in there, have faith. And it aggravates the hell out of me. However, the psychological side of it, the mentalness of it, can be triggering for a lot of people. So if you go to my YouTube channel and you click on videos and you go down until you find one that says Contemplating Suicide, I actually got a professional in, and his name was Michael, and he's been helping people with suicidal thoughts for years. He is a true hero. So we did a podcast with him, and the purpose of that podcast is to help people who may be unable to ask for help. So please do go to that and watch that video, and any comments, put them in the comment field. I don't want to see anyone take their own lives because they feel like they have been duped out of their money. Personally, 2 people in my life have taken their own lives, my stepfather and my sister. Now, I believe it was because of the pressures that the Jehovah's Witness organization put on them. They couldn't live up to that lifestyle and they took their own life. I don't want the pressures of a Ponzi scheme and losing your money to make you think about the same thing. So please watch my video and get some help. And if you know someone that might be heavily involved in this sort of stuff, why not do a welfare check on them? So today's meeting was Valerie, Tracy, and Whitney. I'm just going to talk about Whitney. And Whitney's here with Jackie, and she's going to tell us about her woes. Now, before I get started, I'd like to do a clicker. That helps me line up the audio so it's a more pleasant experience for you. If you do hit the like button on this video right now, it will tell Google that you like my video and it will send it out to the masses. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell, not only will you be notified when the new videos come out, it will also tell YouTube you like my videos, and it will help get this message out, and I really want to make a difference. Now, I was trying to think of an illustration that would really explain what I see going on here. It's easy for me to sit here and listen to these people pour their hearts out and try to form empathy with you guys about their own situation so they can form a really strong connection. So I liken it to the Titanic. Maybe not quite the Titanic, but just imagine the Titanic hit a iceberg, hit an iceberg, and the water was gushing in, everyone's screaming, and the whole thing's going on. I managed to get into one of the lifeboats. There was enough lifeboats for everyone. And I look around all my friends, and they're all okay, and I'm great. And then somebody says to me, hey, there's people still on the ship. There's people in the conference room, and there's people speaking. And I go, what? So I managed to get back onto the ship, and I burst open into the conference room, and I tell everyone, get out, the ship is sinking. And there's 3 people on the stage, and you guessed it. Who are they? Well, it's Tracy, it's Valerie, and it's Whitney. And they are giving you a performance of a lifetime, telling you that you need to have faith, you need to believe in the HyperNation, and the ship is not sinking. And you just need to huddle together in the community. And I am yelling in the top of my voice, this is a Ponzi scheme. It is over. Stop preaching this stupid message and get off the ship, because you're going to lose everything that you invest. Now, it's me. who has watched over 100 videos from these leadership meetings. I stopped doing it. It's too negative. It's hard to watch. Whitney, what I call the, I have to find out what I call her. I call her the Blurry suckerfish lady. And if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know why. But she doesn't want her name and she doesn't want her face on the internet. But she is willing to be in the leadership meetings and preach her message to the audience that's left. And the last part of this meeting, the question and answer, someone come onto the meeting and said, hey, with FTX falling over, no one could read the ledger and didn't really know how the company was going. And they suggested that if HyperNation wanted to gain stronger alliance with their members, that they should make their ledger visible. And she chirped up, went into gear mode, and she was like a real trooper. She knows every angle of HyperNation. She knows all about the NFTs and how they work. And she said that you can actually go into where the NFTs are sold, something C, I forgot the name of it, and you can see the transactions and the wallet address of where the money's going or who's making the transactions. And that alone should give you credibility. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I hope the person listening to that didn't buy that. Now, let's say I want to go buy an NFT because I've seen it on a billboard and it's been dripping away, the advertising's dripped away, and I've decided I'm going to buy one of these NFTs. Now, never buy an NFT. I bought some comics. Don't do that. Waste of money, all right? So they're encouraging people to buy these NFTs. There's advertising. Advertising works, and everyone's buying an NFT. Now, you need an NFT so that you can go buy a membership in HyperNation. And they're offering daily rewards of 0.7%, which basically means it's a Ponzi scheme. Because if you get your calculator out, that's why they keep rebranding. So it's gone from Hypertech Group to Hyperfund to HyperVerse to HyperNation. And now they've just come out with another one called HyperCosmos, which is ridiculous. And the idea behind it is they're meant to be building a metaverse. And no doubt you may have been heard about it. You may have searched for this video and you found this video. Now, this is an award-winning Oscar performance by Whitney. I do want to have empathy, and I am sorry, Whitney. I know you watch these videos that you lost someone who was like a father figure to you, and also you are about to lose somebody else who's close to you. But when it comes to your hidden agenda, no one is asking you to stay in HyperNation. And if your hidden agenda is to, build your coaching business, just focus on that, because you'll paint one picture over here and then you'll go, and I've got my happy clients and I've got my coaching people and I love coaching people, and that might be your business that you're trying to get off the ground. And I think you're trying to lever being on these leadership meetings to build up your own business, which would make good sense. But the ship is sinking. Get off the stage. If you don't like people like me doing videos about you, then my goal is to name and shame people like you. I think it's disgusting that you are telling people to hang into this Ponzi scheme. People like Mike Lucas took out his pension fund. He only had $25,000. He put it into HyperFund or HyperVerse, and he lost the lot. I asked him, are you feeling suicidal? He said yes. Another guy I interviewed, same thing, same question. He said yes. You guys could have blood on your hands. You are preaching a message to people, telling them the ship is not sinking. Shame on you. And if you think I'm bullying you, you're right. I am bullying you. I don't care how it makes you feel. No one's asked you to address or be in these leadership meetings. Get off the stage. Leave these people alone. They don't need your help putting their money into a shaky or a risky crypto investment opportunity. And if you read the disclaimer, it tells you that it's not an investment opportunity. This is ridiculous. That's why I'm out here name and shaming these people who are out there preaching the message. So, without further ado, we're going to listen to Whitney. I get a name right. Yep, Whitney. and see what her message is today. And if you like aeroplanes and you're a plane spotter, this is right up your alley.
I hope you guys are doing well. In wherever you are, this has been a very interesting time. And I'm kind of chuckling to myself at how funny the universe, God, whatever name you give that higher power is. Because the last thing that I would have thought that I'd be doing right now is training. And that's because I am in deep grief right now. And it's been a difficult week. I have been dealing with grief in different ways. And the topic that I'm going to talk about just for a few minutes this morning is about perspective. Because there is something about grief that gives us truly perspective on everything. And I think when you're dealing with grief in different ways, it gives you different kinds of perspective. So this last week and a half has been really tough for me personally. A man that I considered my pretty much closest thing to my dad. I almost married his son. So he was someone that I grew my whole life. I knew him my whole life. And he dropped down dead, like just collapsed and died. And he's pretty much my mom's age. So, and his son and I are the same age. And you know, this was someone who, I loved and I love very deeply, was very, very close to. Every time I saw him, even after his son and I broke up, every time I would see him, you know, he would look at me and be like, you know, you should be my daughter. I'm like, I love you. I know, like, stuff happens, you know, people and relationships, and y'all know how it is, right? Like, just, you know, sometimes things just happen, but it doesn't stop you from loving people's families and all the connections and things that kind of grow from that. And he was someone that I loved and still love. And I am grieving very, very deeply that he just literally collapsed and died. He was a former police officer in the city of Toronto. Today is his funeral. And I'm not there because I'm here. And
now that's I get it. People die. It's a very sad affair. We've all experienced it. But would you not go to someone's who's like your father's funeral? I mean, really? And rather go and address, is this a shameless attempt to get empathy?
I've been trying to process all of that. And then on top of that, another male figure who I'm also very close to, my stepfather's cousin, who was at my mom and my stepdad's wedding. And he was the person that I was my mom's maid of honor, and he was my stepdad's best man. And it was a very small, intimate wedding, but like the photos of the wedding are basically myself and him and my mom and my stepdad and my sister and my other sisters. And it was like family. And he had been diagnosed with cancer a while back, and had beaten it, you know, had done chemo and all of that. And then it just kind of came back and it has ravaged his entire body. And he's now at in palliative care at Credit Valley. So yesterday was a really tough day for me. I was supposed to have class. I didn't even show up because I was literally at the hospital seeing him, and then left there to go to the wake for my I call him my dad-in-law. And that's been so hard. Death has a way of putting things in perspective. You know, it really does. And, they always talk about death coming in threes, and things like that. And I think that there is some truth to that. Maybe it's not true at all, but I do tend to notice that whenever there is loss in my life, I kind of notice that there's a bit of a pattern. Like I'll lose like a few people at the same time.
Oh, goodness me. Wonder who's next. Hope it's not me.
And, sometimes I used to wonder, like, gosh, grief is so hard, Dad. Like, God, like grief is so hard. Like,
everyone in this meeting, every single person that come on, all believed in a God. And, what really irks me is the connection is like a cult. And HyperNation's obviously the religion. But everyone prays, everyone has a belief, and everyone has to have hope. And it's looked like when I was a Jehovah's Witness, they told us that we was going to live on a paradise earth forever and ever. And that was the paradise that we had to stay focused on. And every opportunity these guys have, regardless of their situation, they really want you to focus on the bigger picture that is never going to happen. And that's where I'm trying to intervene. I'm trying to get you guys to wake up who listen to this stuff and think, I've got a real connection with Courtney. Because everyone that talked in this meeting, 2-hour meeting, I think they're just trying to capture empathy, and they're trying to use this to lever you into an investment opportunity of a lifetime. And at the end of the day, they are profiteering. I believe Courtney is just after building up numbers for her coaching business. And in a few minutes, she'll tell you that she's really struggling financially. Why is that? And, desperate times, it's been pretty hard over the last couple of years. So let's continue. I'm trying not to be unempathetic here because I do understand what it's like to lose loved ones. But I don't feel it should be used in this manner.
Why do we go through it in these compounded ways, And on top of just grieving, people who have either transitioned or are on their way to transitioning, I was also just grieving aspects of my life that I wasn't really happy with, My health isn't great and hasn't been great for a while. And I've been grieving that. And financially, things have been really, really tough. And I've been grieving that. And relationships in different ways have been very difficult as a result of different things that I'm going through. I've been grieving that. My mental health has been amplified.
Talks about me next. Oh dear. Please watch my video, Courtney. So empathy, is she trying to be game face? Is she trying to be a strong leader? Or is she kind of trying to side with you? I'm not being callous here because I've watched 100 videos and I've watched the conniving tricks and techniques of all these salespeople. They're in that conference room. They get up there and they preach you a message of hope. It's not real. I don't care what techniques these guys will use to keep you on board. Get off the Titanic.
My anxiety has been amplified as a result of everything. And so it's really been kind of coming in from different, different ways. And the reason that I'm like in shock that I'm even here right now is because, yesterday when Dale reached out to me, I was so not in a good place, and I was like, what the hell am I going to come on training and talk about? Like, what am I?
She has no problem talking. Don't you worry. She's very animated, always got something to say. Normally we can't shut her up.
Going to come on in all of this mess that I'm in. And like, what do I have to give anybody right now? Because I just feel so completely physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, just depleted and exhausted. And just like, I'm done. Like I have nothing else right now. And I swear God talks to me. And I was kind of getting these messages about why does God kind of speak to me in certain ways, right? And I know this is going to sound like it's completely off topic, but I promise you, just stick with me for a minute. My favorite thing in the world is flying. I love to fly. I love to drive. I love driving. Like, I'm one of those people, like, if we're going on a road trip, I'll be that person that's like, hey, I will drive because I love to drive. But I love flying. I love everything about getting into the airport and getting on a plane and, you know, getting onto I love it. I genuinely, I am not afraid of flying. I'm not afraid of being in the air, even when there's turbulence and the plane is going up and down. I'm like, yes, this is great. Like, I'm one of those, I'm weird like that. I'm not afraid of flying. It's something that I just truly enjoy. But that's me. There's a lot of other people that are terrified of flying. They're like, I mean, if they get some turbulence, they're like, oh my God, like the worst things are going through their minds. But the reason I'm talking about flying is there's this thing about flying that every time I get into an airplane, I swear God talks to me and he tells me about perspective. Now, there are days that I have flown where it was snowing and it was rainy and it was crappy outside. And then there's other days where it was beautiful, clear skies. But I want to focus on the days where it was really, really crappy, right? If you have ever flown in really bad weather, if you're someone that lives in like either Europe or North America, where we can get some really, really, really bad weather, even down.
She's winding herself up now. Seen this before.
And parts of New Zealand and
ooh, New Zealand. I bet she thinks of me now.
And stuff like that. You know that it can be snowing, it could be hailing, it could be a lightning storm. Like, there's all kinds of things that can happen, right? That can affect your travel. But what's so interesting is there's this thing that happens when you're going down the runway and let's say it's snowing or it's hailing or there's thunderstorms everywhere, right? And you start to take off and you're in it. And I mean, like, you know, when you lift off the ground, I'm telling you, like, you're like, oh my God, because you're just looking at, and I like to do the window seat. I'm a window seat girl. You're never going to find me in the aisle. You're never going to find me in the middle. I'm looking out the window trying to see everything that's happening. Because again, I love to fly. And there's this beautiful thing that happens when you're flying in bad weather. You go up and you're flying in crappy weather and you just keep ascending. You just keep ascending because the plane is going to do what it's going to do. The plane knows that no matter what it looks like on the ground, once I get above this crappy weather, all is well. All is well. And there has never been a point that I have ever flown in crappy weather where we have gone above the clouds and got into more crappy weather. There is a point when you're in a plane that's flying through really bad weather where you get above it. And all of a sudden you look around and what was snow and sleet and hail and crap and whatever bad weather, once you get above those clouds, it's sunny. It's beautiful. And it's kind of like, and again, for those of us that are blessed to live in North America, it's the most incredible thing when you're flying through really bad weather and you get above the clouds. And then all of a sudden the sun is there and there's no bad weather. You can see almost into space, because you get up to like 30,000 feet. And what you start to realize is everything is about perspective. When you're on the ground in that crappy ass weather, it doesn't feel like you're ever going to get out of it. It doesn't. It feels like it's always going to be there because you're just looking outside and you're looking as far as you can see. And all it looks like is crappy weather. But it's amazing how when you change your perspective, it is incredible how everything can change for you. And sometimes that's all it takes is changing your perspective about something. Because in the place that you're in, yeah, everything looks horrible. But once you remove yourself from that place, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that looks like for you, all of a sudden you're above the clouds and you're looking down like, what was I worried about?
I hate this. I'm sorry. If you haven't watched all my videos, you probably think I'm going to be an empathetic. But, you know, we've got people who hang into the community who watch this every week. And all they want to do is get their money that they originally invested out of the schemes. So what these guys are trying to do is paint you the same picture that they are saying that they're in the same boat as you. Now, I know Courtney has talked about it before. She was about to do a withdrawal and all the funds got crashed. So she has recruited quite a few people into HyperNation, HyperVerse, whatever it's called, HyperVerse. And she's probably got to keep face. And she's got to say, I'm in the same boat as you. And I'm going through problems as well. I've got terrible things happening in my life, money, she said relationships, she said her business, she said she's lost a dear person that was like her father, and she's got another person that's about to die as well. And she's also said that things happen in threes. And I'm sorry, but she is not in the same situation as you. You may have invested your money in HyperVerse. You may have actually done like Mike Lucas did and taken out your life savings. And you are now clinging on to hope. And you're not like Whitney. No, she's probably got a husband out there working. She's got a lovely house by the look of it. And she's doing okay. You know, she might be going through a few emotional things that we all do in life. But she has been an instigator. She has been guiding people by the hand to invest in a high-tech video game like the metaverse and encouraging people to invest their life savings. She's been in these meetings with Pinnacle telling people that their pension fund is a Ponzi scheme that the government is running. Really? And now she's trying to say that her life is shit, and if yours is feeling shit, she's in the same boat as you. Well, you don't need to be in that boat. You need to shake the dust off yourself, get yourself on the life raft, reach out to me if you've got a story to tell. I would love to interview you and hear your story. Please do it. I'm not going to criticize you because you got involved in this terrible Ponzi scheme, but I want to hear your stories. I want to help you. I had the privilege of helping someone get their money back from one of these Ponzi scheme guys. It was awesome. So, you know, and I've got things happening at the moment where I'm profiling all the people that are involved in these things, and I'm working with authorities, and hopefully we can make a difference. This is my new business. I'm out there to name and shame these people. I'm actively gathering information so we can go to the federal government and lay complaints. I can't tell you any more than that, but I need your help. So if you've got any information about anybody, anybody that we can show, you are not allowed to paint a picture of beauty over here and sell someone a dream that isn't backed up. So if you've got an unreal story or anything like that, please let me know. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle.
This thing that I thought was like so big, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I can just get above the clouds and go to a different destination and the sun is still shining.
Must be HyperNation.
Like no matter what is going on the ground, no matter what is going on down here, the sun is always shining. Clouds can only go to a certain atmospheric pressure. They can't go into certain parts of the stratosphere, which is why the sun is always shining, because the sun has the larger perspective. The sun says, no matter what's going on the ground, I'm still here. I'm still going to be the sun. I'm still going to shine through. You may not see me in the same way, but it doesn't mean that I'm not here. And for some reason, that word was like put into my heart. Literally yesterday, I had no idea. I was like, God, you've got to be kidding me. I am boohoo crying. Y'all, I have no makeup on right now. I'm so sorry. I look like a mess because honestly,
well, I must say your face is looking a bit blurry. Just saying.
I'm in grief. I couldn't even put on makeup this morning. I love y'all, but like I couldn't do it. I was like, Dad, they're gonna get me as I am right now because it is rough right now. So please give me grace, because I put on some earrings and that's about it. I had some lip gloss and that is about it, because my eyes are a mess. My eyes are all puffy.
It definitely looks blurry to me. Does she look blurry to you?
But because I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to come on here right now and talk about? What good am I to anybody? That's how I've been feeling. Like, what good am I to anybody?
I think you should retire. I think you should get off the stage and stop preaching the stupid message, Whitney. It's just pathetic. I mean, leave these people alone. You're bullying people into spending money so that you can build your own wealth. It's disgusting. Stop it.
Right now, like, because I feel like I'm a mess, and yet everything is about perspective. Everything is about perspective, guys. And I'm not trying to be morbid, because that's not why you guys come here. But like, I say this with love. Some of us are not going to make it into next year. That's facts. We are blessed to be here right now. We are blessed.
What a load of rubbish.
There are people that would give anything to have another day with their family, with their loved ones. Losing a parent is hard.
I thought she was saying that they were blessed to be in this meeting. Hopefully she didn't mean that. I don't think she did after all that.
And I just think about, you know, all the things that we have as a family, as a community.
So this is the same with the religion. And that's why it gets me so furious. Because when I got kicked out of the Jehovah's Witness organization, I lost everybody. All the friends, all the people I grew up with. As soon as I started questioning, is this a Ponzi scheme? They cut you out. They don't want anything to do with you. So here you are in a community where if you're like a robot and you keep walking down that same track, they'll be your friend. But as soon as you start saying, look, I'm not happy, this 2-hour meeting was all about people not being negative. I mean, if you're involved in an organization, why do they have to do so much preaching about not being negative? And, you know, and this whole rant is all about remaining positive and having faith, just like a religion. And it makes me sick. And the community that loves you unconditionally. Well, it is conditional as long as you don't question them.
Sorry, guys. All the things that we've all been struggling with in our own ways, and we've all been holding on for a really long time. And I truly believe, oh my God, I did not want to do this. I truly believe this is why I didn't want to come on training.
Oh, shut up. I mean, I'm sorry, but I've listened to over 100 of these leadership meetings. This is just another dirty tactic.
Today, because I knew that this was going to happen. So I really apologize. But I truly believe that where we are going in this community,
here comes the sales pitch.
In HyperNation, it's like that plane being on the ground and realizing that, hey, there's been a lot of things that have been really tough for a lot of us. And I mean that, like, it has been really hard. And I don't want anyone here to think that it has been easy for any of us to.
Oh, bullshit. I mean, really? I mean, but I know that Whitney hasn't theoretically made any money out of this. Why? Give it up. I mean, stop preaching this message. Stop misleading people. It's just bullshit. I mean, I hate people like this. I don't care what tactic you're going to use, or you're going to stand on that stage and preach to people about this not being a Ponzi scheme. Give it up.
To see here, because we are fighting battles that you don't know. Truly, you guys don't know.
And this is where I come in.
Some of you know, but a lot of you don't know. And
because they tell you not to search the internet to do your own investigation on one hand, and on the other hand, they tell you to do due diligence. So let's see what she says about me.
Honestly, keeping perspective, keeping positive, coming to training, having something to...
She's going to talk about community. What do they call it? Community points. And that's where you go out on social media and you say good things about HyperNation. Now, if you go into the Twitter and the Discord rooms and you look at every single post that HyperNation does, they've now got more thumbs downs than thumbs up with their comments. But you can't comment. You only have to see the stuff. But everyone's so pissed off in the community that you get, they'll talk about it in a minute, but you get points for saying positive stuff. So it's like they know that they need social media to keep this thing going as long as they can. And now they're going to tell you that they need your support.
Be grateful for having things, some of you guys, you criticize us when we're positive.
What positive thing have you got? What positive thing can you say about HyperNation, HyperVerse, HyperFund, HyperCapital, Colin Starr Group, Hypertech Group, Blockchain Group? These are all renames, rebrands, rinse and repeat, Ponzi schemes, and now we're going to say something positive. Okay, what can we say? Lovely community? Yay! Get off the ship before it sinks.
And you don't realize, for a lot of us, that is the only thing helping us to keep our mental health, is staying positive. So please have a little bit of grace. And
right, so what I want to do now is, I said this at the beginning, but if you go to my YouTube channel and click on videos, around about, 15 videos down, we've actually got one here saying Contemplating Suicide, which is a real serious topic. So maybe you are thinking that way at the moment. Are you a Ponzi scheme victim? If you are a Ponzi scheme victim, please go watch the video. Michael is an author. He's wrote a book, and he will talk about some practical steps and some good positive thinking. So Courtney, if you're watching that video, make sure you do watch this video. I mean, get out of HyperNation. Get out of HyperVerse. Get out where you still can. You don't sit here and preach a message of doom and gloom to people, telling them that you're in the same ship when you're standing on the stage. It's not right. So get out of it. All right, back to Courtney.
Compassion. When you see people trying to stay positive because you don't know what they're dealing with, you have no idea the battles.
That's why I reckon that these guys are liable. They'll have people's blood on their hand because they are manipulating people for their own selfish gain. You stay around. I'll hopefully have another video of the question and answers. You watch how she steps in like a machine. She knows how to work this HyperNation thing. She knows every aspect of it. She's out there because of her greed, and she wants to build her empire. She wants to be someone like Keith Williams or Kalpesh Patel who have profited out of this, and she wants to be the next person at the top of the pyramid. There's not much room at the top of a pyramid for people. No one's going to make money out of this HyperNation.
That some of us are facing. And so when we come on, when we give our time on a Saturday, when we're in the WhatsApp groups or the Telegram groups, and we are putting in positivity, it's not because we're trying to bamboozle people. It is not because we are trying to hurt people.
Exactly what you're trying to do. It's not rocket science, it's the hex science.
We are trying to help everyone stay positive and keep perspective.
Stay positive and keep perspective. You were the ones that introduced them to this Ponzi scheme. And now you're trying to keep them in the ship that has sunk. The water's getting higher. The ship is getting lower in the water. It's about to break apart. And you're still preaching and playing the music and keeping people on board. Time to get in the life rafts and get out of there and paddle away as fast as you can before you get sucked in with the ship as it goes down.
Because we understand how hard it is. And the last thing that any of us needs when things are difficult is for people to come in and make things more difficult by compounding with how crappy things are. So when you see us and we're trying to stay positive and let me tell you, there are groups, shout out to the HyperVerse HyperNation strategy group, Pinicky and Dee and Yvonne and Ursula and Big KTB. Oh my God. Like they're like Dr. J, Valerie Graham, Valerie Kemp. Like there are.
Why don't we just take a commercial break? Please hit the thumbs up, help get this video out to the masses. If you look at this picture, you can see all the people that have been involved in HyperFund, HyperVerse, HyperNation, and now HyperCosmo. You've got Pinnaky Nark, you've got Susan Lawrence, you've got Jackie, every one of those faces. Valerie, for example. Now, I've heard that she's really nice and she really cares about the people in her community, and she stuck her neck out to do the right thing. But now she's got out of bed and she's got straight back into bed with HyperNation. Absolutely incredible. But they are the faces of the people that have been running these scams since 2018. They need to be stopped. I need your help. So go to my website. If you've got any information, go to theheck.com. Click on the Contact Us button, submit some information to me about anyone. I want to know people's home addresses. I want to know their phone numbers. I want to know their usernames, their passwords, not usernames, passwords, but I want to know their WhatsApp names. I want to communicate with these people. That's what I'm doing. I'm building a database. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of it as we speak. This is what I'm working on at the moment. I've got a program called Milanote, and you're the first people to actually see what I'm actually working on. So here we go. Right, if we go back, what I call the SCAMDEMIC, and this is Project SCAMDEMIC. I've written out all the Ponzi schemes that I know of, that I've actually been privy to information about. For example, if I went into like LanuOne, you can see I've been gathering information about this company, who's behind it, the victims, videos I've done about it, and then I'm going into like the founders of these companies. So Stephen, he's a guy, and I will find every bit of information. I found out his company details, all the website addresses that he's been part of. I found secret videos of him saying he's going to do horrible things to people. I found out where the guy lives. I found out his associates. So if you go into associates, you can see all the associates behind him, and the like. So if that's what I've been working on, and I'm going out after these guys, I'm making it a personal goal of mine to track down everybody who's out there actively promoting these Ponzi schemes. I want to bring them to a stop. That's my goal, that's my mission, and that's all I live for.
Jackie, there are incredible people, and we are all dealing with stuff. And it's not for people's, we don't need to come on here and tell you what we're dealing with in order to validate who we are. We are all dealing with stuff. Every single one of us is dealing with stuff. We have family that we're taking care of. We have family that we're burying. We have loved ones that are struggling. We might be struggling ourselves. And we are doing our best to come together and to hold each other up and to stay positive and to remind everybody that perspective is everything. It truly is everything.
I don't know about you guys, but the word perspective does not, even the illustration, I don't even resonate with me, perspective. I mean, really, if you had a perspective on things, would you be involved in this company still after it's... So now it becomes down to just blind faith, doesn't it? That you're still belonging to an organization that hasn't done anything for anyone other than financially more than 12 months ago.
Everything. And when you can keep a positive perspective, even in the midst of whatever crap you're going through, sometimes that's the only thing that helps you keep holding on. It's the only thing. Sometimes I'm telling you, there are people like the only positive reinforcement that they get is coming to training. The only time that they hear positive words is coming here. And so when you come in and you're like, well, you're what do you know, the things that people say when they're angry, right? And we see it in the comments, we see it. Trust me, I have a guy who I have never met in my life.
I'm happy to meet you if you'd like to come onto a Zoom meeting and tell me why HyperNation is such an awesome business opportunity, Whitney, whatever your name is.
Who is literally bullying me all over online.
Bullshit! No one's asked you to come on here. You've stuck your neck out. So, don't come here and promote a Ponzi scheme and then say the guy's a bully. Incredible.
Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've never met this individual. I've never connected.
You might have seen me in the New York Times. Yeah. Did you see me talking about Keith Williams and the video that they had and how he'd taken $25,000 off out of Mike Lewis's pension fund? Did you not see that? Did you not read that article? That's why I'm doing it. You've got no right. You've got no right to manipulate people and take their money and lead them by the hand and get their crypto out of them so you profiteer. You've got no right to do that.
With him, and he comes on and he systematically bullies every single one of us that come here.
Too right I do.
He makes videos. He puts our faces out there.
You're a bit blurry.
He encourages people to go on and tear us down, name and shame us.
Brilliant. I've got my message across. I'm doing quite well. Quite happy about that.
All for being positive, all for coming onto a space.
Just being positive is actually just being stupid.
And literally just giving love to people and being positive. And he's probably on right now. I promise you, I'm going to see this video online with him with commentary.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And just for the record, if you want to go in and watch these videos, just go to HyperCommunity, all one word, .link. Click on leadership meetings or presentations. I forget. I think it's leadership meetings. I'll ask you for a password. Just put 1010. But I don't get the videos from there. No, I have people who have been involved in HyperVerse and HyperFund who hate these guys. I have people that are in these meetings right now and want to listen to your dribble because they are living in hope that they're going to get their 1 times reward back, which was meant to be happening last month. And I've stopped watching all this shit in this dumb video. So if you haven't been keeping up with current events, basically what they said, once all the money was stripped out of HyperVerse, they said that the HyperVerse people, which quickly took out all the assets, which is the sales team, people like Courtney, put them in HyperNation, and then said they're going to do a recovery plan. So they come up with a shit coin called HyperBond, and you could convert your HU dollars or your HVT dollars into HyperBond. And once you did that, you forfeited any opportunity of getting any money out of HyperVerse. So then you move that over to HyperNation, and then when you get to HyperNation, you had to buy a stupid NFT that was worthless for $100, or if you had no dealings, you could buy one for, I think it was $125. That was like a nightclub, and you go past the bouncer, and that was the cover charge to get into the nightclub. But when you get up the stairs to the nightclub, they tell you that you need to buy a new membership to get entry into the nightclub. You've got your passport, which was the NFT. And then once you get into this nightclub, you have to buy a membership plan. All right? You could use the HyperBond money. How much of it do you think you could use to buy a new Ponzi scheme membership? 20%. So you still had to put 80% fresh USDT in to have a chance of being in the new Ponzi scheme. And since then, all the money they've got from selling the NFTs, they've done a massive billboard campaign around the world promoting Hitchhiker's Guide, Galaxy Guide, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Stars, whatever it is. It's an NFT, and it's advertising. So people that haven't been following it like I have would have been seeing a billboard about an NFT that they could buy, and they may have thought it was a good investment. So all that money has been used to market HyperNation. But the real thing is they are trying to get people to buy memberships. And it's just absolutely sickening that they're doing this. And it's about time we need to work as a team. If you've been bitten, if you've lost money, no little bit of information is too small. I want to know who introduced you to it. I've got a video about 10 videos back about me name and shaming people who have been part of this Ponzi scheme. Go have a listen. I've got 200 names in the comment section. You'll see I've actually got 200 names out of these meetings, and I want more. I want to profile all these people. So what I want to do is I'm going to build a database of all the people that have been involved in these Ponzi schemes. I want to go through and find as much information about Keith Williams, Kalpesh Patel, and I've just started profiling all these people. And then this information is going to get given to a lawyer. And the lawyer is going to submit this information to the governments. And we're going to have a go at getting your money back who've been scammed. So help me help you. And we'll let Courtney carry on telling you that she's just the same as you. And life's shit. And she's not happy. And apparently it's all your fault and my fault for being a bully online. No one asked you to do this, Whitney. Get off, get a real job. You know, you're just doing this to promote your business coaching. That's obvious. And you're also doing it hoping that you can sign up people to a Ponzi scheme so that you get money. Now, I just want to explain how the old system worked. This is quite confusing if you don't know. Now, there was 20 levels of commission structures paid out. So that means if Danny came along and he put $1,000 into it, the person that introduced me to it would get 20% of that straight away. And they could literally take that money straight out. They can convert it back to USDT and take it out. So then if Danny thinks, I like the look of this game of Monopoly, and he refers somebody else over here and they pay $1,000, Danny gets $200 of it, and the person that introduced Danny gets $150 of it. Now, the next person down next to me who bought $1,000, they introduced somebody else to it. So the person that I introduced now gets 20%. I think I've got this right. I get $150, and the next person gets $100 of that. Now, basically, if they are building a metaverse, we've worked out that 52% of that $1,000 that goes into it gets given away in membership rewards. And all that money can be withdrawn from people like Whitney. So if you come along and you invest and you believe that this lady's good and she's going for a thing and I'm going to help her out and I'm going to invest, like a lot of people have, $50,000, and they sign up straight away, Whitney would get $10,000. And she would be able to convert that to USDT and take it out. Well, I'm not sure if HyperNation is set up for that just yet, but that's how it worked with HyperFund and HyperVerse. So this is why they had this multiple, what do they call it? Team structure, and they'd have 20 people. They would set up 20 levels, and they would buy the $300 membership accounts themselves, and then they'd strategically put people in the right places who are going to promote it, and the cash would come rolling in. Kalpesh Patel allegedly was making $1 million a day. Imagine how much money Keith Williams has made from HyperVerse. Now, if they've made all this money, and there's all these people in here crying because they've lost their money, and they're hoping that they're going to get their one-time reward out of HyperVerse, how is that actually going to happen? Like, what's going to happen? How's that money going to get back to the people? There's no such way. Are they going to give everyone USDT? And the HyperNation people don't want anything to do with the verse. And then you've got other Ponzi schemes popping up left, right, and center. wewe.Global. You've got Novatech. A lot of people left HyperVerse because they were told to diversify. And now, Novatech FX, they have been investigated and they're in front of the courts at the moment. And if you go to behindmlm.com, you'll see and do a search for Novatech. They're in a whole lot of shit because they've been... See, the thing is, these guys are not allowed to paint a beautiful picture of what's going to happen when you invest. It's illegal. And if you're an American person and you have lost money and you've been promised something that didn't eventuate, contact me because we can do something about it. But I need you guys and your support to do so. All right, let's go back to Whitney. How much more time have we got with Whitney?
You guys have no idea the things that we are dealing with. You have no idea what it's like to have a person bully you for you just trying to maintain a positive mental health and a positive...
I'm sorry, Whitney, Courtney, whatever your name is. I've been preaching this message for 10 or 11 months, and I got involved in this when it was at its peak, and everything was dandy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to release a video after this one of one of the early leadership meetings. And you can see the enthusiasm these guys had when the money was cashing in. And you can see, to say that I'm actually depriving people from positivity is just a crock. You had a lot of time to make money in this. And now you're trying to comfort the people that have lost all the money. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, let you speak.
Perspective, and to encourage everyone to do the same. So really, just please give us some grace and some compassion. We're all dealing with stuff.
what a crap. I hate this. This is stupid.
I know that you guys are dealing with stuff. I get it. Like, I really get it.
We're all in the same boat together. No, you're not. Don't listen to these people. It's propaganda.
You know, when you guys are coming on and you're like, we need to know when we're getting our money. We need to know when this. I get it.
Yeah, but if you gave them, you don't have the money to give back. That's the problem. But if they said what they did, people wouldn't be so disgruntled. That's not rocket science. It's the hex science. But you can't give them what they want because there's no money left because it's a Ponzi scheme. So why are you giving them hope? And this is criminal. This is bad for people's mental health. It's bad for your mental health being in this stupid meeting. Just stop it.
But I also understand that there's things that we can do in the meantime. And that's how we help each other. It's not about trying to, you know, bamboozle people or get people to forget about what happened. No, we all know. We're all dealing with it. It's not different for us than it is for you. It's the same. And in some cases, it's worse. But you know what makes us strong? As a community, as leaders, we hold each other up. Jackie and Valerie have been two of my pillars holding me up. Dr. J holding me up. My students in my class, Rosemary Edwards, I love you.
Here we go. This is where she tells you what she does for work. She's on a membership drive.
Paulette Franklin, I love you. Gloria, Virgie, Susie, all the people that come, they hold me up.
Oh my God, and she's a leader in the hyper community and she needs holding up? Oh my goodness, don't go down with the ship. The Titanic is sinking. The plane's going down.
So sometimes when you see us, like, don't think that we're not going through stuff. We are, but we're holding each other up. We're supporting each other as a family.
Oh my goodness. Just like when I was a Jehovah's Witness, all about the community. You know, we weren't allowed to talk to other people. We weren't allowed to play sports with other people. We weren't allowed to go to worldly movies. No religious training at school. We just had to keep our blinkers on, stay in the community and not talk to anybody because we might get the truth.
Because that's what we do. We haven't let each other, you know, go off into the ether. Do you know how many projects right now wish that they had the community that we had? Do you know how many projects? Look at what happened to FTX.
Oh, what happened to them? I think they went down like a ship. No more ship. People couldn't get off. It was a terrible disaster.
Look at what happened to a lot of these projects. You think that they have a community of people that are still...
Now we go to the blame game. Let's talk about the crash of crypto and how we're still here. But then again, what is still here exactly? A community that might have a little bit of money left?
Coming together every week, giving their time to bring us together.
You owe them. You owe them for their time.
Together and to say, guys, we're in this together.
We're in the same boat.
We're not leaving anybody behind. Anybody that wants to come, your uplines are helping. I've seen so...
Ooh, now we talk about the multi-level marketing side of it. This is where it gets good. The true colors are coming out now, Whitney.
Many amazing things that uplines and nodes are doing.
What's a node? Who knows?
They didn't have to do this. Helping people get packages on their teams, and they don't have to do that.
As an army, let us go to combat those evil men. Oh, it was one of the songs that the Jehovah's Witnesses should driven my head 33 years later, and I still know the words to it.
That is not their responsibility. And yet they're doing it because they see the value in this. They know the value of community. It's not about the project. It's about community.
It's like trying to get blood out of a stone, isn't it? The community's tired, they're perplexed, they've lost all their money, and she's still squeezing the stone for the last little drip of blood.
We can't do this without each other.
Yeah.
We are all going to fail or succeed together.
Ah, that's a shame. So if we're all going to fail, because that's what I read into that, get off the ship. Go get a product or service and start your own wee business. Imagine if everyone didn't get involved in crypto and spent all that time and energy doing other projects in the real world. The world economy would be in a lot better state, wouldn't it?
Period. So when you see us come here on a Saturday, giving our time, as we said, none of us are getting paid for this.
Oh, yes, you are. You are getting paid for it. Did no one tell you about the reward system? And if you recruit somebody, what I didn't tell you before, that 52%, this was in HyperVerse, 52% of that $1,000 that somebody may invest goes to pay out rewards. Now, if those people decided that they loved HyperVerse so much, they could leave that money in there. And within 600 days, that $1,500 would be $1,560 with compounding returns. And that's why it fell over so quick. So they do get paid for being in here. It's like saying, I work free, but every time somebody walks through the door, I get a new car. Oh.
We come here because we love you guys as a community. We are all struggling. We are all dealing with things, but we are doing our best to keep a positive perspective, because what we understand is that we're stronger together than we are sitting in our own corners, grieving and going through our stuff and not supporting each other, not helping each other. And I know I've probably gone way over time. I am so sorry. Again, this is why I did not want to come on training today. Like, I knew I'm a mess. Like I am, but clearly whatever it is that was put into my heart, I guess, is what needed to be said. And I really just hope for those of you that are struggling, please don't think that you're alone. You're not. You're not alone. There's a lot of us that are dealing with a lot of things that you don't know. Health things, financial things, relationship things, family things. We're struggling, but we are holding each other.
And she's one of the leaders.
Up as community. We are loving up on each other. We're encouraging each other because we know how hard it is to go through this life on your own. You need community. You need tribe. You need people to sometimes just rub your back and say, it's going to be okay, even if they don't know how that's going to get solved. But just for them to be there and say, you know what, Whit, it's going to be okay. We're here. We can't solve all your problems, but we can just hold space for you, and we can love up on you as you're going through this, and know that you're not alone. And that's my message to all of you that are struggling, to all of you who are like, I need something. I need a miracle. We're all in the same boat. We're here. We love you guys. You're not alone. Please continue to come to training. Please continue to plug in. Please continue to do the things and get yourself ready for whatever the next phase, the next step of this journey is going to be. Make sure that you're plugged in. And always remember, no matter what crap is on the ground, you get in that plane and you get above the clouds and it's always sunny. There's never been a time that I've gotten into a plane and gotten above the clouds and seen more rain because the clouds can only get up so high. The sun is always there. It's always there. It's always shining. It's always going to give us what we need, no matter what things look like on the ground. So please continue to have faith. I'm sorry for the snotty nose and the boohoo crying. I really am so sorry, guys. Like, whew. I just thank you guys for holding space for me today and for letting me share what was on my heart. And Tracy, I'm going to turn it over to you because I'm going to just continue crying and this is just not going to end up well. So Jackie and Tracy and Val.
Wow.
I love you so much.
Wow. Wasn't that amazing, guys? You spoke from the heart. And when one speaks from the heart, I mean, it's real. It is real when you speak from the heart. And I always say, I hardly write stuff down because most of the time I don't know what to write. But if I can sit here and just talk to you from my heart, every word that comes out of my mouth, it's the truth. It's what I'm feeling. And talk about perspective, that's what it's all about. And you're right. No one knows what anyone is going through unless we tell that individual, unless we talk about it. We don't know. But I know I'm going through things. I know we all are. We all are. It's how we handle it, how we managed it, and how we pray and work to get ourselves out of it. But I tell you, Whitney, it will get better. It will get better. I don't have my mom or my dad around. And it hurts. It's not an easy road. I know all of that. Trust me when I say I know it. And I know the feeling, but it gets better with time.
Yeah, how often do you see bank robbers going back to the same people they stole the money from and actually going for another round of stealing? That's exactly what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
It does get better with time. And we're all here for you, and we're here for everyone. And as you said, that is why we are here in this community. And we're not only here on Saturdays.
Exactly.
I want everyone to remember that. We are here 7 days a week. And I'm going to say 24/7. Okay. And I want you all just to remember that. Just remember that. Okay. We have lives just like everyone else. But Whitney, that is, wow, my condolences. And, my heart goes out to you and your family and friends. But just remember, and that I'm here and we are here. And thank you for coming on, because that's a lot you're dealing with, and to come on today and present. That's a lot. It is a lot.
And I'm so sorry to my students that I didn't show up yesterday. It was a rough day. So, yeah.
And I'm sure they'll understand.
They know I love
the whole three of them.
My students. They're amazing.
Obviously, they don't pay her very much because she's struggling financially. Just saying.
They're they're amazing. So I know they do. And I'm grateful to everyone.
So if you want to help Whitney out, do a search for Coach Whitney and you'll find her website, I'm sure. And you can probably ask her, how do you go about being coached by Whitney? Just say you love the aeroplane story and flying above the clouds.
It's everyone that takes care of me and gives me love and checks in. I'm great. This is why I can do this, because it's family, it's tribe. And that's what I'm saying. We all need each other. And I want everyone to continue to come in, to continue to, stay connected, because we need each other. We're all dealing with different things. And this is a place and a space where we can come together and get that positive, just reinforcement and, just that filling up of our spirit that we need sometimes. So Tracy, I know you're going to knock it. I'm so excited to just sit back and just receive right now, because I feel like I'm just depleted. So I'm just going to sit back and receive. And Jackie and Valerie, I love you guys. Cook food on a Sunday. Thank you so much.
I love you too. Okay, Tracy, over to you.
Well, next one is Tracy. It's really exciting because he's been a truck driver for 30 years, but now he's a professional about to give you some leadership training. Isn't that great? So just bear in mind, I'm currently building up a massive database. There's a SCAMDEMIC going on at the moment. And this is my, I don't know if that comes up, but this is my video. It's basically going to do a video about how I'm building a database up. And I've got all the Ponzi schemes out there, and I want information. So if you can help me, that would be great. If you do submit any information, you can be kept anonymous. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear everything that your involvement. These guys are not allowed to get away with it. Since I've been in the New York Times, I've had different organizations approach me, and to my amazement, we can actually do something about these people who are doing these Ponzi schemes. We just need to gather as much information as we can, especially if they're American and they've scammed American people. The American authorities have had enough and they want to bring these guys down. Now, if you did find that a bit sad and you are feeling a bit lonely, I urge you to go and watch the video, Are You a HyperNation Ponzi Scheme Victim? Contemplating Suicide. Statistically, asking someone point blank, are they contemplating suicide, never hurt anyone. In fact, it's a great way to find out whether anyone needs help. I've got quite a few videos online, and you can watch previous meetings. For example, there was one from Whitney when she was on fine form here.
Nobody told you to quit your job.
Thank goodness. I'm a YouTuber and I love my job.
Who told you to take out your whole life savings?
Well, I didn't have much, so I just thought I'd get the whole lot and put it all down.
The only people that are happy-go-lucky are the V5s and the people that have made money.
That's going to be a
So I'm really going to try to keep this very, very short.
Thank goodness. If you watched my first video, you see I spent an hour and a half on this section alone.
Very, very concise. Really not committed to helping their team. You don't hear certain things until you're ready to hear it, but you're not.
All right, so we're not going to watch the whole lot there, but that video there is called No One Told You to Invest in HyperCommunity. This was the most disgusting video I ever saw anyone ever do out of all the leadership training. This lady here, basically this is where she said I was bullying her and picking on her. She basically told everyone that they should have not invested in HyperVerse. And no one told you to leave your job. No one told you to put all your money into this investment opportunity. That's what she said that you shouldn't have done. But if you go back to the leadership meetings that I'm going to put one out, I'm going to feed the old leadership meetings in between each of my videos when I do voiceovers, so you can sort of get a really good idea of what these guys are and why I'm so hard on them. Now, I've done over 130 of these videos, and I did manage to get in the New York Times. I got interviewed by a reporter 4 times over a 12 to 13 week period, and they gave us a whole page on the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, they nicknamed me, and it was absolutely awesome. I am on a crusade. I want to name and shame these people. I will never ask anyone for money. I will never push you into anything that I don't think is good for you anyway. I have no hidden agenda other than wanting to name and shame these people. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. At the age of 23, they kicked me out of the organization. I lost everyone in my family except a few people that had already been kicked out. And I was isolated. I never had suicidal thoughts. I have been depressed. I have felt perplexed, similar to Whitney. But I'm not going to let these money-hungry bastards take your money. This is a cry for information. Please, if you have been bitten, don't hide behind your computer. I used to put a lot of pressure on people to come and tell me their story on a Zoom meeting so I can broadcast it so that I could get more people and create more awareness. I'm just in the talks with an organization that says that if you want to give me any information about anyone that's pushed you into a Ponzi scheme, you can remain anonymous. I will keep your privacy. Submit the information via my website. There's a button there where you can say remain anonymous or not. Any leads, videos, images, you can submit them all via my website. Would be much appreciated. I'm on it. I'm out there. My name is Danny DeHick, and I am the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. How about that? And I strike again in another HyperCommunity meeting. I will have other videos coming out with the other 2 people that were in the leadership meeting in the not too distant future. Hey, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for hitting the like button. It makes a huge difference. Posting a comment, any feedback, good or bad, I'm open to it. And by all means, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and you will be notified when the new videos come out. Have a great evening, morning, or night, or just have a good time in life. Stay away from bad investment opportunities. Keep your money in the bank.